Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. Thank you for joining us. So we are on AJ Watch once again. AJ Watch has gone from a 5 to a 10. The last video I did was AJ and the cerebral palsy commercial, or the advertisement raising awareness for cerebral palsy, where AJ's on his knees and he falls on the floor and he's out unconscious. I got a lot of flack about it, but my views are my views, and I just think at this time in his career, where he's in a big rematch and he's been knocked down so many times before, really you don't really want to be doing that on the eve of a fight, which could either blow you up and get yourself back in the heavyweight, top of the heavyweight picture, or push you out into obscurity and potentially retirement. That's how bad the stakes are. You really don't need to be doing that video, despite what AJ fans say. Anyway, so now we're in AJ Watch, and this has gone to a 10. AJ's recent video interview with Sky Sports was very disturbing. He turned around and said that apparently he's fighting a guy that's got fast hands, and he's this good. Apparently. That's in AJ's mind. And he's now got from a military mindset, now he's gone to a killer mindset. And his latest statement basically says that everybody should bow before him should he beat Ruiz, based on the fact that everyone's boosting Ruiz up. Very, very concerning. Bow before him. Well, I didn't know beforehand. I didn't know beforehand that he was actually an actual king or a god, and I didn't know that Ruiz was a king or a god. And now he's talking about bowing before people, bowing before him. It's very concerning. And I'll tell you this now: I'm not going to wait until the fight itself to tell you there's something wrong with AJ. Seriously. You know what AJ looks like now? AJ looks like, often I joke about a nickname, AJ Hercules, on the channel, and the many adventures of Hercules, because of his fan base and how invincible AJ was, built like an Adonis. And I guess back in the day, maybe Hercules did look like AJ, built like AJ, and that was only a compliment. But AJ looks like Hercules, who had his hair cut by Delilah, not quite knowing what to do. Now he hasn't got that superhuman strength. That's what AJ looks like. If you look at AJ, and I know how deluded boxing fans can be, but if you look at AJ carefully, you look at all his career leading up to the fight, and you look at him now, he looks like a ghost, looks like a shadow of himself. It looks like a guy that's had nights, weeks of worry and torment and stress. That's what he looks like now. He doesn't look like a guy with the wherewithal. He doesn't look like a guy who's got the eye of the tiger. He looks like a guy who's going for the motions because he wants to go. He has to go for the motions. He's going for the motion because he has to go for the motion, not because he wants to. I don't believe for 1 second AJ wants this rematch. I don't. And you turn around and say, apparently the guy's got fast hands. Clearly, you should know. He coughed you with enough punches and knocked you down 4 times. He was beating you to the punch. And I went back and watched the documentary of AJ that Sky Sports put out. Beautiful Sky Sports. Real up close. And he says at the end, and I must have replayed the clip about 20 times. He goes, yeah, I got caught with a few too many hooks in it. I got hit with too many hooks in it. Got hit with too many hooks in it. And I'm like, he said that to Rob McCracken, and I'm like, so you knew what the problem was? Yeah, fair play to Andy Ruiz, he's a good, fair play to him, he's a good fighter. So you've jumped from that to now fast forward to he's not very good, and he's punch from the gods, You've jumped from one extreme to the other. I don't know who's around AJ, and I don't know who's advising AJ. I heard a rumor that Harold Knight is in the gym. That might be a bit too late now. It might be a bit too late because, I was listening to the breakdown with all the guys, Froch, Bellew, Hay, and Malignaggi. Yeah. Problem with that group of people there is they're all friends of AJ. So they're not really going to give you an impartial view. The other problem is they all work for Sky. There was nobody and Nelson, there was nobody in that room there that didn't work for Sky. So they all work for Sky. So they all are affiliated to the big cheese, which is AJ. Hay's got to keep himself, because Hay don't know in the future whether he'll be working with AJ. Bearing in mind, think about this for 1 second. You never thought Hay would be working with Chisora, right? You would never have thought that. Now look how things are. You got Froch there. That's his good mate. And he's good friends with Rob McCracken. Theirs doesn't sound too good there. You got Paulie Malignaggi, who does the commentary. You got Tiny Bellew there, good friends with AJ, of course. In with the Sky Sports team. And of course, life after boxing, good commentary spot. And of course, you got good old Johnny Nelson, who's never going to put a foot wrong, or else he'll get the stare from Adam Smith. So really and truly, that is a good old boys network. Even Malignaggi is part of that good old boys network. Not as bad, but it's there. So when you really want to talk about non-biasedness in boxing, you've got all those guys that are going to be biased because they're all friends of AJ. Now, if you put Deontay Wilder around that table, Luis Ortiz around that table, Dillian White around that table, Peter Fury around that table, or Tyson Fury around that table, and let's say Joe Joyce around that table. Maybe Joe Joyce. No, Joe Joyce around the table as well. I'm only thinking that because of the GB connection. But if you put those guys around the table, you'd get a different gloves are off, because you'd get a more realistic view. Don't get me wrong. All those guys, what they saying were valid. What they all were saying was right about, technique and time and experience. And, Malignaggi talking about getting, when he got knocked down and how he responded from getting hurt, and Carl Froch got in there. They're all laughing at Froch. It was quite funny. I think Froch knows it himself, so he's a good sport. But really and truly, when it came to ask him the real question, do you think AJ will win? Of course, Froch is going to say, yeah, AJ is going to win. But they all knew that AJ was fragile. They knew he was fragile around the chops. So, they would have heard the stories. They're in the sport. They know what's going on. But, of course, they've got to do it for pay-per-view, innit? They've got to do it for pay-per-view. So, boxing fans, like I said, AJ, this is AJ Watch, and it's a 10. And it's not great. It really doesn't look good. If you think it didn't look right walking to the ring, right? Well, he looks worse now than he did walking to the ring that night. Worse. He doesn't look like he's got the same glow to him. He looks anemic. He looks pale in comparison to the AJ. He looks gaunt. He just looks like a guy that's made homeless. I'm not. He just looks like a far cry from the guy who was 6 or 8 months ago walking around Miami with the shades on. He looks a totally different kettle of fish. He really does. And you can do all the training in the world. As I said before, you can do all the training in the world. If you go back and listen to AJ walking to the ring, right, and his ring walk, check this. He was saying something about stance, balanced and box positively, and all this kind of talking instructions as he's walking to the ring. He's able to say that. So if he's able to say those things, solid base. I can't remember what it was, because I was like, what is this guy doing? What is this guy saying? Who walks the ring going solid base? What? What are you doing? I coach. I've coached for 20 years, yeah? And I tell my players, it's another sport, and I'll say, you know what, keep your eye on the ball, keep your eye on the ball, focus, focus, focus. 1, 2, 3. I'll say that NLP stuff. But they'll mutter it to themselves once or twice, very, very quietly to themselves, not loud enough that it can be picked up on the camera. I mean, I would never see Mike Tyson muttering that to himself walking to the ring. You see Lennox Lewis walking to the ring muttering himself like that, or Evander Holyfield be going to the ring, he'll be singing his gospel music. George Foreman. None of these great heavyweights would be going to the ring muttering about their balance and their foot placement all day, or being confident. I mean, like that. I mean, it would seem very bizarre. And, I don't know what to say. Boxing fans, what are you thinking? You're in the room. What are your thoughts? I'm lost. I'm at a loss. I'm sorry. This guy does not look, for me, stable. He really doesn't. He just does not look stable. He does not give. And then you look at Andy Ruiz. Look at Andy Ruiz from the first fight, and look at Andy Ruiz's state now. He told you he's going to be about 8 pounds. He'll be maybe 5 to 8 pounds lighter. That's it. And Andy Ruiz is playing the mind games. And don't for 1 second think that Andy Ruiz ain't playing the mind games. He's playing the mind games. He's telling AJ, he's going inside his head, look, there's 2 ways you can go about this fight. You're either going to run away from me, or you're going to come to me. Well, we know the last time you came to me, you ended up in the canvas 4 times. That didn't work out for you. So you've decided to lose weight. Well, you wouldn't lose weight to come and engage with me. So the next thing you're going to do is going to run around the ring. Well, I know you're going to run around the ring. And then what does Andy Ruiz say in his interview? He turns around and says, guess what? If anybody knows my career, they know I like to fight guys who run around the ring. Because my career, I'm used to cutting off the ring. Now, boxing fans, if you haven't boxed before, then you won't pick that up. You probably won't pick that up. But for people who've boxed, or for trainers, or for managers, or people who understand the game into that deepness, that what Ruiz is saying right there is telling you. He's saying, you're coming into Lions Den, I'm the champion, and if you decide to go backwards, I'm coming for you. If you decide to come forwards, I've got your number. So what exactly are you going to do? What exactly can you do? That's why, how many fighters do you know talk about their strategy so openly like that? How many boxers you know that openly come out the strategy and say, look, this is what it is. This is what it's at. If he goes backwards, okay, and I'll close the range down and I'll break him down. And if he comes forwards, I'll do the same thing too. And then you're going to Saudi Arabia. You had suspect stamina anyway. And you're going to Saudi Arabia, one of the hottest points of the world. And you're going to go there a few weeks beforehand to acclimatize. And you're going to go backwards and try and box off the back foot. Okay. And of course, as they say, as most people say, a ring is a ring. Well, a ring ain't a ring. So, if you had problems before, you've got even bigger problems. So you got to fight. Your challenge now is to overcome the acclimatization. I mean, I've got to ask the question: has depression kicked in with Joshua? Because you've lost your title. You're no longer champion. You're no longer the champ. You know, how much rehabilitation has been done for him in this knockdown? On these 4 knockdowns, and him losing the belt. And him being interviewed over and over again, and seeing this video of this fight over and over and over again. Then before you even know it, you're back in the gym sparring again to prepare for this guy. So you have to prepare for a strategy to beat the guy. And you have to prepare for even the guy. You didn't beat the guy the first time round. You got battered by the guy the first time round. So you've got to beat that guy, plus the guy who's got an extra 5 weeks to prepare. Boy, have you got it hard. Have you got it hard. Have you got it hard? I've said it before. Styles make fights. Joshua can't fight up close. Said it before. I'll say it again. I've been telling you guys for years. So unless he's suddenly developed a brilliant jab, and he's developed fantastic footwork, and he hasn't got a suspect chin, and he hasn't got, suspect to the body, or he hasn't got suspect stamina, you can't build a new fighter. This isn't a flipping Fight Night champion. And your mental state isn't weak, and you can box to a game plan, because clearly you couldn't box to the first game plan that was given. And can you, and when you're being rushed again, can you still hold it together? We know in the amateurs what happened when you got backed up. We have it there in the amateurs. The blueprint was right there. Andrew has just discontinued what happened in the amateurs during the World Championships. That's all. And I'm not convinced you can make that much adjustments unless the rig is in, which means Andrew is prepared to pay the price and to hand the belts over with some money dealings, i.e. Kovalev and Canelo. Other than that, Joshua's in for sure beating again. He's in for sure beating again. Because technically, he's not a better fighter than Ruiz, right? He's in his experience with Ruiz, right? It's only the people that don't know their boxing that are talking about Ruiz treating Ruiz like a mug. Those who knew their boxing knew what was coming on Ruiz. So it was unexpected from those who didn't know about who Ruiz was. And if the case is it's about money, and remember, also in all of this, you're all forgetting. Remember, it came out that Joshua had lost his passion for the sport. If he's lost his passion for the sport, and you're hearing rumours about retirement, it's not good. It's not good. And you ask yourself the question, when you're backing your hopes on Joshua to win this fight, who have you been listening to? Have you been listening to all the people from Sky who have to sell the fight as Joshua will win it because that's their guy? Or have you gone outside of Sky? Have you listened to people who don't owe Joshua a favour, or managed by him, or promoted by him, or not promoted by him, but have affiliations with him outside of that? People who have no connection to Joshua. People who are just saying it as it is. They told you those people told you beforehand. Freddie Roach told you it was going to be a tough fight. I knew about Andy Ruiz from Abel Sanchez. So, George Michael says, the steady bass comment, I was like, what's he saying? It was weird. Nervous chat. I don't know. Sky's full of company men. I've said it before. So if you've got company men sitting around a table talking about a company man, you're just going to talk company business. That's all it is. So if you're sitting down watching the gloves are off, other than just for a little bit of comical show of how company men work, that's it. That's what it is. It's a company man show. Talking about another company man. It's like, we're all going to sit down and talk about Frank, who's our boss. Frank's the one who puts the money on our table. So we're not exactly going to say Frank's going to lose, are we? We're going to say Frank's going to win. But we've got to make it sound as if, we can't ignore the fact that Frank got clobbered in his last fight. Well, the get-out clause for all of this is this. This is the get-out clause. If the company man loses again and say, we really underestimated how Andrew Ruiz really was. And we just set up and say, Andrew Ruiz is going to probably, because of this, he's one of the greatest heavyweights that walked across the planet. Right? Because it wasn't not just too long ago that people were rating up AJ and saying AJ was the best heavyweight in the world. Hold on. Better than Lennox Lewis. You all that garbage? Remember all that? You all got short memory. He's almost convincing himself not to win, but to get in the ring. That's what it sounds like to me. 100% Ingram. Everson's Rani talks utter crap. I don't know who that is, but go ahead. David Hay was like, I don't know who wins. Frotch was like, tell us. Hay was like, I don't like, I don't know. Sky Sports matchroom cheerleaders make me. That's what it is. You are paying $24.95 for the most part to hear company men talk about company men. That's what you're paying for. Company men talking about company men protecting company men. That's what it is. The commentators protect the fighter, right? The promoter protects the fighters. Well, the promoter protects the fighters. The judges and the referee protect the fighters. Come on, man. It's all in-house. It's a government within a government, isn't it? That's what it is. That's what it is. I'm just calling it for what it is. I'm not lying. It's what it is. But you know what? Let me tell you, right, that these company men are only company men on the camera. Off the camera, give them a call. I know a few company men from Sky. Call them after hours. They've had a drink or two. They'll tell you what they think of Anthony Joshua. And you'll be shocked. They'll tell you what they think. They'll all tell you what they think, really think. And I tell you something. What I really think should happen, what I think would be great entertainment, if it was me, you'd have to get Carl Froch off the show because he don't drink. But I'd get, see that glass of water they got there? I would spike it with so much alcohol in it, yeah? I'd get them all around the table and I'd get them spiked up. I'd spike up their drinks. Or I wouldn't spike up drinks. I'd put some tablets in their drink. Or I'd spike them before they come in. Put some truth in there, right? Truth serum inside that water. And get them to sit right around that table. Oh man, listen. That would be Sky Sports at its very best. That's what you call Sky Classics. Let me see something. Now that is pay-per-view in a nutshell. Pay-per-view in a nutshell. I would love to have Adam Smith around the table, drunk. I would love to see Hay around the table, drunk. I'd love to see Frotch around the table, drunk. The word Bellew will talk. Bellew will talk. No problems with Bellew there. I think he'll speak up. Oh man, Paulie Malignaggi, he don't need a drink, but he'll just be talking much faster, and he'll let it out as well. So can you imagine them all drunk around the table? I mean, now that would be exciting stuff. So Adam says, being real is not the Sky Sports mantra. You have to be pedal their BS. Same in footies, even darts. Ask Chris Mason. I won't be paying £25, says one. The drunk don't lie. Frotch is Polish. He should be deported. Oh God, some truth. What? Ask Big Glenn McCrory. He'll tell you the truth. I don't have to ask Big Glenn. I love Big Glenn. Me and Big Glenn were out in the town one night, so I know all about Big Glenn. In fact, that reminds me, I should have a call. I'll see how Big Glenn's doing. I like Big Glenn. I've got a lot of time for Glenn McCrory. He's one of the real ones. Glenn McCroy is one of the real ones. Ian Dark's one of the real ones. Jim Watt's one of the real... They're three of the real ones right there, you know. McCrory, Jim Watt, and Ian Dark. Three of the real ones right there. You know? Ian Dark would say to you if he was watching fight, what on earth was AJ doing in camp? And then Jim Watt would go, it's a reckless boxing from Joshua, Big Josh. Reckless boxing. I mean, just arm punches. You'd get that from Jim Watt. And then, Glenn McCrory. Too many hooks. Too many hooks from Ruiz. Too many hooks. Left hook and right hook. You'd have those three together, right? You'd have a great night of boxing. But they tell you the truth. Those guys would tell you the truth. Go back and listen to McCrory and Dark and Watt. Listen to them a night when Muhammad was getting asked taken apart by Barrera. Go listen to that. The way Ian Dark said Muhammad was bouncing around the ring like a Saturday night drunk. God only knows what Ian Dark would have been saying about Anthony Joshua's career.
So, no, I'm not going to get Big Glenn into any trouble, mate. I'm not doing that. I'm not getting Big Glenn into any trouble. Anyway, what was this Ortiz video? It's gone, Ingram. Was looking forward to. What are you talking about? What Ortiz video? I've done the Ortiz video. It's on the channel. Check it out. What Ortiz video are you talking about? I did an Ortiz video. I did Ortiz and Joshua video of the breakdown. In fact, I did it live on Twitter as well. So, I don't know what you mean. But yeah, anyway. Coming back to Joshua. Big concerns. He doesn't look right. Doesn't sound right. I don't know if he's going for a depression. I don't know if he's had a breakdown. I'm dead serious. I don't know if he's had a breakdown. I don't know if he's had. I don't know what's wrong with Joshua. I am seriously concerned about Anthony Joshua. Seriously concerned. Do you know what I mean? Jokes aside, I'm concerned. And then I'm just very concerned. Very concerned. I'm actually more concerned for Joshua than I am for Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz looks better going into his rematch and he got knocked out than Anthony Joshua does going into his rematch. Ortiz looks slimmer, but he looks good. He looks sharp. He looks good. He looks very nice. Little haircut as well. Joshua, he looks like if, it's final rights for him. That's what he looks like. Oh, Denise, good to see you in the room. Joshua's just told everybody in an interview that apparently, Andy Ruiz has got fast hands and he's a very good fighter. Apparently. Then he goes on to say that in that case, when I beat Andy Ruiz, I want everyone to bow before me. That's what Anthony Joshua came out and said in a recent interview. He's doing his PR no favors whatsoever, and this will come back to bite him. So, yeah, well, you carry on believing that, Samuel. All I know is when Wilder hit him, the legs went from under him. That's a sign of punch allergy. And Ortiz has an allergy to big punches. I said this before. I said it in terms of Luis Ortiz. I said, which heavyweight fighter has Luis Ortiz fought that wants to hit him back hard and can punch? I said this years ago about Luis Ortiz. I said, when he fights someone who can actually hit him back hard, we'll see what Luis Ortiz is all about. Yeah, he did say that. And now you saw what happened when you got hit back hard, Luis Ortiz. The legs went and did a funny little dance. He looks scared, Ingram. Remember, this is the guy Joshua should beat 9 times out of 10. Yeah, with a military mindset, And, make sure, take it out. He took it out the oven too early. Boy, you know what? If I were him, I wouldn't even bother cook. I wouldn't even call myself a chef. And if you're going to have a military mindset, my thing is, if you're going to have a military mindset, at least be in the military. At least be in the military. At least be in the military. Like you have a military mindset and you ain't even been in the military. What part of you is in the military? I don't get that. You know what I mean? You can have a boxer's mindset if you've boxed. I can have a footballer's mindset and play football. Well, I never saw Anthony Joshua at no field. Now he's talking about having a killer mindset. Well, military mindset's gone. AOL. Now we got the killer instinct, killer man. Okay, so you have to go out and have a killer. So the military mindset didn't work. It got you knocked down 4 times, and you came out from talking one set of stuff, which is he's a really good fighter, and he got hit with too many hooks, to lucky punch, to now everyone should bow before you. Well, I thought military mindset would have been about you being disciplined, focused. Well, as I say to my good friend, you should have had a guerrilla mindset. Get in, get the job done, get out. That's what he should have. But I ain't no guerrilla. Exactly. Tupac. That's probably too much YouTube. That's when that's what happens when you YouTube a bit too much. When you watch YouTube a bit too much, or you listen to certain music, which reality and fantasy, and the two become all jumbled up, and your reality and fantasy become one of the same. And then a few punches later, you realise. See, I just don't like, the other thing I don't like about all this as well, which is very concerning, is you're still not giving Andy Ruiz the credit. You're still saying apparently. Listen, the guy has fast hands. It's not apparent. Well, it's not apparent to you clearly, because if it was apparent to you, you wouldn't say apparently. You would say, the guy's got fast hands. I need to be aware of that. I don't hear none of that talk. You know, I don't hear AJ say, you know what, in the rematch, you know what, boy, you know, Ruiz is a bad man. I'd be playing up Ruiz. Ruiz is a bad man. He's got fast hands. I hit him with the right hand. He went down. He got back up. Boy, that's a bad man, man. I'm going to have to lay some more hands on that guy, but I've got to be careful, because it didn't work out last time for me. I would respect that kind of talk. I would respect that kind of talk with a bit of grease on the end of it, going, yeah, I got to bust up that man, you know, in a rematch. That would have been cool. That would have been fine. But when you're talking about people bowing before you, and lucky punch from the gods, and military mindset, and now killer mentality, and in the oven, not taking out the oven too soon, and 9 times out of 10, that kind of talk don't sound to me like a boxing kind of talk. That kind of talk sounds like a promoter's kind of talk. That talk kind of sounds like a YouTube kind of talk. That kind of talk talks about like man running up and down the street but ain't got no business being in the boxing ring kind of talk. That's roadman talk, but that's not the reality of being world heavyweight champion talk for me. For watching the history of world heavyweight champions, you know, even Charles Martin, as you laugh at him all you want about Charles Martin, but even when he was talking to Joshua, I walk this earth like a gold. I mean, we can laugh about it now because of what happened to Charles Martin, but my man was really talking the stuff, and you could see he at least talked and looked like a man that was about the business. He was talking like it was about business. Joshua's not talking like a man that was about the business. He's talking about a man that's around the business, or don't want to be part of the business, or forced into the business. That's what he sounds like. Or a man that's very confused. I'm sorry. I have to say as it is, and I'm saying it now, and I hope he proves me completely wrong. AJ sounds like a puppet. He constantly contradicts himself. Ingram, the same thing you told us about Canelo and Kovalev is the same reason why AJ will beat Ruiz. AJ's investment just as Canelo is. Yeah, but there's a slight problem with this. You got Al Heyman. Al Heyman is different. You know, Kovalev didn't have Al Heyman behind him. Callum Smith ain't got Al Heyman behind him. You understand? And Al Heyman he's not gonna feed the hand that basically Barry Hearn said that once he was a slave master. I really can't see Al Heyman wanting to bow down to that. I can't see that somehow. That's the problem with this fight right here. Maybe having a mindset of having a competent game plan come fight night. That might be it. Focused execution. Get in, get the job done, get out. I don't care how I win this fight. I must win this fight. I don't care how I win this fight, but I've got to win this fight. I've got to walk in a challenger and come out a champion. That's what it is. That's sort of stuff I want to be hearing from Joshua. He should have hippo mindset. Hippos are always angry. Somebody says he's getting leveled, end of. So I think a lot of people know what's up here. Hippo's got the highest level of testosterone of any animal. Well, all right. Don't forget about what happened on the train when you saw the DAZN executive. The fix is clearly in. AJ on points. Well, that's what the executive said. He said, don't worry, AJ's definitely going to win the fight. And he also told me that Canelo was going to come in undersized, but I don't know how. I don't know. I think that also, Kenny. Martin fought the way he went 10 rounds, way the American Polish boy, he would have hammered AJ. Yeah, well, if he actually came with that, walking to the ring with a pot noodle in his hand, and I think he got paid off. We all know Charles Martin got paid off. Kownacki, yeah, that was a good fight. But that's Charles Martin. That's the Charles Martin we know. That Charles Martin fell down on the floor against AJ. We know the title was bought. There's so many people talking about it. So I know AJ fans are not going to like what I've got to say here. They're not. But unfortunately, it makes me sound like the bad guy and the hater because Sky Sports and their commentary team and their commentary team are our company men. So they're not educating the fans and at least being non-biased. What I'm trying to do here is just say, look, I'm seeing all the red flags here and it's not good. It's not good. Me personally, right? I pull AJ out this fight. Son, you ain't ready. Son, you're undercooked. You ain't ready. You're not ready. You don't have the hunger. You don't have that. No, son, you're not ready. You're not ready, son. You're not ready. And the more damage is going to get done to you, where you might not want to come back and fight again. 7 million by all accounts. Damn, so 7 million. There you go. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to make you go out completely out your head and go missing. That's 7 million. That's a hell of a lot of money. So I'm sorry. It don't look good for AJ. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. I want to get Stacey McKinney when I get a chance to give him a call and see how he sees things. But this is not looking good, fans. I hope that I'm just talking a whole heap of nonsense and AJ goes out and blows Ruiz out of there. For his own good. But it just looks like a lamb going to slaughter to me. And the more I see of AJ, the more concerned I have of him. What have we been saying for the last 2.3 years is coming to fruition? Well, what have I been saying? All that time I was talking about AJ, remember I told you, I said to him after the Parker fight, and remember people were on here talking about he should box like against Joseph, like the Joseph Parker style, and I corrected you and said he cannot box like he boxed like Joseph Parker, because Joseph Parker hasn't got the same mentality as Ruiz. Two different styles. If he boxes like he boxes against Parker, he will get knocked out even faster. Because you can't. The first fundamental thing that AJ's got a problem with now is that he's lost all that weight. So how's he going to hold and lean on Ruiz? How's he going to lean on Ruiz when he gets tired? Is he going to lean on Ruiz and get a break? Ruiz will push him off him. He'll never get another shot at the belt if he backs down out now. Oh yeah? Who told you that? Really? You believe that rubbish? Nah. If he backed out now, took a couple of fights and signed with Al Heyman, he'll get himself back in the world title. I really do. He'd been better off signing with Al Heyman. I said, did I not say it back when he was the Parker fight? Go and sign with Al Heyman. If he signed Al Heyman, this nonsense wouldn't be going on now. Tosh Bear says, loses, it's over, simple. Tosh Bear, man, you sound like Nassim Hamid here. Joshua is in his feelings and ego. Yep, that's what it is. That's what it is. And if he hasn't got a cool head going into this rematch, and he goes into this rematch going, I want to prove a point, I'm going to show the world this. The only thing I will say to Anthony Joshua now, right? What I will say to Anthony Joshua now is simple. Bro, you don't have nothing to prove to anybody but yourself. No. You think AJ losing weight is going to give him more speed and power? How you work that out? How do you work that out? He's going to have more speed and power? No, I don't believe that. How you work that one out? Is that going to stop him taking punches? Is that going to stop him blocking left hooks? Is that going to stop him being unable to fight up close? The guy cannot fight when up close. That's like saying to Kell Brook, no, that's like telling to Amir Khan, all right, mate, we're going to make you lose some weight, Amir, so you'll be able to punch harder and move faster. Well, you forgot about the chin and the stamina? You think because you lose weight, you suddenly become a better fighter? Come on, you become a better fighter by having a good jab and good boxing fundamentals. Yeah, you might be a little faster, and you may hit a little harder, or the punches might not be seen as slowly. You might punch a little faster, but your boxing fundamentals don't change, and they don't change within 6 months like that. I'm sorry, they don't. So wait, where have you got evidence to suggest? Okay, let me ask you a question. If you want to come from that mindset, how much weight did AJ not have when he fought in the World Championships? Let's pick sense from nonsense. Joshua, when he had lost all that weight and he was lighter and he was in the World Championship, what happened? He still got bowled over, didn't he? When he lost all that weight, he had all that weight, he was lighter. He still got bowled over in the World Championship, didn't he? By the same way. Backed up against the ropes, doesn't know how to fight off the back foot, doesn't know how to fight when the guy's attacking him. What happened? What happened? Skills are learned. I know. Yeah, exactly. So the skills he should have learned from way, way back in the amateurs. He got flattened then. He got flatlined then in the amateurs for the World Championships. And all the training he's done now as a pro has not rectified the issues that he's had because the guys he's fought have not had the style of Andy Ruiz. Who in his professional career has he fought that boxes like Andy Ruiz? Zero, none, nilch. And the people that fought like him in the amateurs, you saw what happened to the amateurs. He got flatlined. So don't talk to me about losing no weight. Because when he loses weight, we've seen the track record of what happens. He gets flatlined. So losing weight doesn't make Anthony Joshua a better fighter. Remember, he packed that weight on. He packed the weight on. And when he packed the weight on, everyone was quite happy for the most part. He's big, he's hench, he's tough, he's Adonis. Now, he gets his ass whooped by a guy who can fight, who's got better boxing fundamentals. Let him lose the weight. Whether he puts weight up or he goes down, you're not dealing with the boxing fundamentals. And thank God you guys are not boxing trainers because you get a lot of people in the heavyweight division hurt. You get a lot of people hurt. Because in that case then, George Foreman should just lose weight. No, it don't work like that. Don't just lose weight. Boxing fundamentals. Using a left jab. Keeping a high guard. Not moving back in straight lines. Tying your man up. Pushing him off. Turning him. Using a jab. Keep him at distance. Don't get involved at close range. When he does get close range, throw the uppercut and turn him. Stuff like that. That's what wins you fights. Don't drop your height to a shorter guy like that. Being adaptable, be able to make adjustments on the fly. Those are the things that can make you a champion. Not just losing weight. Hey, you'll punch faster. You'll make the same mistakes. You make the same mistakes. So if you lose the weight, then you end up. Then you end up. If you lose the weight, then you end up for. You lose the weight. You got punch resistance issues. Somebody says here, bit like yourself, Ingram. I call it. I can't see it. Good man. One of those PBC exclusive contracts. Let me ask you a question. Look at the contract Joseph Parker signed. Let's talk about some of the contracts that various recent heavyweights have signed. Luis Ortiz signed with Matchroom. What did they do with him? Yeah, that's what I thought. Joseph Parker signed with Matchroom. What did they do with him? That's what I thought. That's two already. Should we not even go to that? Let's talk about the contract with Cal Brook. Turn you into, a pay-per-view, or close to being a pay-per-view star. And then what do? Throw you under the bus. Should we talk about that contract? So I think that PBC would be a good move for Anthony Joshua. Leaner muscle, more power. Well, I don't know about that bit, mate. Less weight, less punch resistance. It's a trade-off, Ingram. Well, it's not a trade-off I'd want to see for Joshua. Skills pay the bills, my friend. He's lost the plot. He needed to be big and strong, intimidated. No, he wants to be slender for speed. It's all over the place. It's over, B. What's your prediction for Luis Ortiz Wilder? People say Ortiz will win unanimous decision. Yeah? That's nice for people. You can see the video that's on the channel itself. Yes, he got battered. When I see Ruiz fight, he drops his right hand. AJ needs to work with a left hook and work on his infighting. That's a good point. But you also saw Ruiz, who prepared only 5 weeks of preparation to fight AJ. Are you preparing that you're going to get AJ knocked out even faster? Because you're basing your analysis of Ruiz based on the fight he had with Joshua. That was a guy who came in 5 weeks' notice. Come on, man. You're going to get guys knocked out. Ortiz wants his 7th round. Ingram, I never said losing weight makes you a better fighter. All I meant is when you leaner, you punch harder. Really? Really? Well, he's going to have to change the kind of muscle he's got. AJ hasn't got fast twitch muscles. That's the way he looks. He don't look like he's got fast twitch muscles. He looks like he's got bodybuilder muscles. All them heavy weights, which means you get slower. So we'd have to retrain his body to have a fast twitch muscle. I don't know if you can get that in 6 months. Was Parker or Ortiz owned for 6 years? Were they? I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something now. Ortiz is in a better position now than he was when he was. How many world titles did he get under Hearn and Matchroom? How many world titles did he get under Hearn and Matchroom? Well, I look at it, since Ortiz has signed with PBC, is that 1? Is that 2 world title fights he's getting now with Wilder? How many world title fights has Dillian White had under the Matchroom banner? I thought as much. How many people under the Matchroom banner are actually pay-per-view stars? Or close to pay-per-view stars? Yeah. I was thinking that. I heard that sourced for American, Heyman will pull out Ruiz and Hearn already got a backup plan already. Yeah, I know. I heard that story as well. Well, that would be, for me, if they did that, then the only way I would agree to that, and I'll follow up with that, the only way I would agree to that is if Ruiz and Wilder can fight for the undisputed title, and then the winner of that, the first guy gets shot, would be Usyk. So that's the only way I can see that happening. I can't see Al Heyman just pulling Ruiz out like that. And if he did, then I'd like to see. Well, let's see how Wilder does this weekend. Because if he blows or if he beats Ruiz, if he beats Ortiz, then it's a masterstroke in it. Because you can get one face, one name, one champion. So, like I said, I always thought it would be right for Al Heyman to own and get the heavyweight division together. Matchroom had their chance to hold the undisputed belt. Instead, they messed around. They were accountants, and at the end of the day, they should never be forgiven for us not having the undisputed heavyweight title. They messed about. They played the fool, and they said it. His old Bazza Hearn said, "You know what? We don't want anyway, and we don't need to fight Wilder till 2020, 2021." So they had no intention of fighting Wilder. So because of them, there is no undisputed title. Riddle me this, Ingram. Why did Ortiz not take $6 million to fight AJ? A lot easier than Wilder, and take less to fight a killing machine. Why did Ortiz not take $6 million to fight AJ? Well, the question I ask is this. I'll riddle you that. Do you believe everything that you're told? And if so, was it ever the game plan for Ortiz to go anywhere near AJ? Let's be honest. The only person at that camp that wanted to fight Ortiz was Dave Allen and Malik Scott. So I don't think that AJ had any business wanting to fight Luis Ortiz. You know that. I know that. Tyson Fury knows that. Fury had no intention of wanting to fight Luis Ortiz either. And if anyone wants to argue with me to that, they can argue with me till they're blue in the face. Tyson Fury said it himself. He had no business wanting to fight Luis Ortiz. He said he brings no money. He's dangerous. He's awkward. He don't sell any tickets. Why do I want to fight Luis Ortiz? Those are all the reasons why he didn't want to fight Luis Ortiz. And that's Tyson Fury telling me that. So, I mean, you might fancy his chance a bit more now because Ortiz is nearly 50 years old. But, yeah. So, I don't know. I'm just concerned for AJ. That's all it is for me. Very concerned. And I hope and I pray that AJ's got this under wraps. I really do. Right, I guess that's it from us at BWTM Sports. If you haven't subscribed already, check us out. Of course, you want to see this or any other videos, check us out, BWTM Online. Just type in BWTM Online, BWTM Online.com. Yeah, AJ is getting 85 million for Ruiz fight, and Ruiz is getting 30 million. Sounds like the perfect cash out for me. 85 million sounds like the perfect cash out for me. That's why you're getting a 24.95. So they're making the most they can get at AJ. But should his ass get whooped, they've got all the investment back. Well, I do believe in the offer, but surely you want AJ rather than Wilder. Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think so. Right. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure as always.